Welcome to the domain. For the blokes, for the boys. Rex is here for you. Enter the room, be put to the test. Meet your host, Rex. This man's the best. Whether it's work or an epic fail, Rex is here to hear your tale. No cheap words, no soft lie. Hold your ground, look weakness in the eye. RexVayneDomain, where legends ignite. Stand up straight, get back in the fight. RexVayneDomain, this is where men are made. Stand tall, stand proud, Rex stands unafraid. Whether you need guy code here, anything goes. If you need answers, RexVayne knows. Manly problems, manly solutions. Welcome to the RexVayneDomain. Here's your wake-up call.
Woo! Good day, everyone. Good day. All the fellas out there. So you do a quick test. Why do I sound like this, mate? Why do I sound like this? But anyway, let's get it started here. Thank you to everyone for joining us on RexVayne's Domain. Welcome to the domain, everyone. So with that said, we'll get to today's topic, which is carrying the weight. And we do have some fellas out there who definitely feel like they carry the world on their shoulders. And we don't like doing that, fellas. You know, some of us, because we're men out there, feel like we got to carry everyone, that we have to do everything. And men, please don't do that. All right? Please don't do that. We have an awesome bloke out there who we will play some music from. And this bloke has been through so much, and I definitely wanted to play one of his songs out there. And this is a bloke out there who definitely carries the weight way too much. And this man still treks on. He still does it, mate. He still does it. There's not much really else to say out there, but this bloke really does it all. And hope he doesn't mind. I borrowed one of his songs for tonight, but it will definitely be shown who it is when I play the track. But with that said, we're going ahead and get started with our fan submissions, because I definitely got some fan submissions in. And it's where stories of fans submitting stories to me, and I give my own personal advice on it. And I will say that I definitely get some interesting topics. Like last week, it involved, some pranks. It involved some blokes going through some pain. And this one in particular is going through something with the dreaded Karen, the bloody neighborhood Karen. And for those of you who may not keep up with the times or lives under a bloody rock out there, a Karen is a term for someone who's always in your business, usually a Sheila, a female, and they may or may not have a particular hairstyle, but we're going to talk about this bloody Karen. Dear Rex Vayne, I'm a 45-year-old electrician. I bought my house 5 years ago because it had a big garage, a quiet street, and enough space for me to work on my truck without bothering anyone. And then here comes my neighbor, a neighborhood Karen, the final boss of suburban chaos. And I love how some of the fans word some of this, by the way. She moved in last year, and Rex, I swear she had made it her personal mission to monitor every molecule of air that crosses property lines. It started small. She complicated, she complained, my bad, apparently I can't bloody read today. She complained that my truck was too loud. It's a diesel. It's supposed to be loud. Anybody's ever worked with a diesel? I've worked with diesels before. I've been around diesels, whether they're road trains, whether they're lollies, or whether they're, the big American trucks out there, with the big bloody exhaust pipes coming out the back of the bed. They're all loud, no matter what. Even the standard exhaust, they can be pretty loud. They can be out there. It started small. All right, I already said that. Then she complained that Milan was too green. Too green, Rex. She said it looked aggressively maintained. Who in the bloody hell would complain that a lawn is too aggressively maintained? Sometimes you got to look out there and you see a perfectly maintained lawn and it looks bloody perfect. What you got to do with it? Then she complained that my dog walks with too much attitude. He's a bloody bulldog. He waddles. That's his whole personality. He just looks mean. Okay, leave the bloody dogs alone. If the dogs are not doing anything to you, what you bloody complaining about? But last month, things escalated into a level of insanity I didn't know existed outside of horror movies and HOA Facebook groups. Who needs a Facebook group for a bloody HOA? I know they're out there, but bloody hell, mate. I came from I came home from work and found a full printed report taped to me front door. Not a note, not a complaint, a report with sections, bullet points, and even a bloody chart. She titled it Observations Concerning Behavior at So and so, address so and so. I'm not going to say it on air. She wrote an entire dossier on me like I'm an asset gone rogue. She said the exact times I leave for work, the exact times I return, how many minutes I spend in the garage. Bloody hell, mate, you got a bloody stalker. A lot of typical Karen things. I'm not going to read it all, but bloody hell, man. And she even submitted this report to the HOA. And the president, who I'm convinced is a bloody cousin, cult member, or hostage, who knows, actually emailed me asking for a formal response. I told him the only formal response I had was a middle finger. Way to flip the bird there, mate. But it didn't stop there. Last week, I caught her in my backyard. In my bloody backyard. She was measuring my grass height with a ruler, and she said that my lawn exceeded community standards by 0.75 inches. All right, first of all, if you're in your bloody backyard, you're in a man's backyard, you're intruding, you're trespassing. You don't need to be back there. Do that shit in America, and I've heard some things about Americans over there. I told her to get off my property. She said she was performing a duty to the HOA and that she would document my aggression. I swear she was trying to build a case against me. Rex, how do I deal with a neighborhood Karen who thinks she's the sheriff, the mayor, or the bloody FBI? Signed, neighborhood prisoner. I'm not going to say the neighborhood out of respect. So, but yeah, he put his neighborhood on there. I feel sorry for you if you live in that neighborhood. But what in the actual fuck, mate? Let me break this down like a man who has seen some things. You're not dealing with a normal Karen, mate. This is next level. This is the kind who wakes up every morning and starts writing citations like she's a bloody military patrol. This woman did not file a complaint. She filed an entire surveillance report. That's bloody stalking there, mate. You might have a case against you there. That is definite obsession. So do not fight the obsession with anger, mate. Just fight it with clear boundaries and get the local authorities involved. Get the corpers involved. You definitely don't want this woman giving you any excuse to bring a bloke down. All right, have your standards. Follow your own standards. Be calm but firm and unshakable, mate. Get rid of this bloody Karen. You don't need that shit in your life. All right, next submission. Dear Rex Vayne, I'm a 29-year-old mechanic I work long hours, fix everyone's problems, and carry the weight for my whole family. And here we go, the topic of carrying the weight today. My dad's been sick for months, and I'm the one taking him to appointments. My brother's unemployed and keeps asking me for money. My mom calls me for every little thing, from changing light bulbs to emotional support. I'm bloody exhausted, Rex. I don't complain because men don't complain. Men handle it. Men carry the load and keep the wheels turning, especially in my job, quite literally. But lately, I'm tired of being the one who holds everything together. I feel guilty even writing this because it feels like bloody weakness. I don't want to stop helping them. I just don't know how to keep going without burning out. So how do men stay strong when everyone and their bloody moms lean in on them? Signed, so-and-so. I'm not going to say his name either. You're carrying a lot, mate. I'm going to tell you the truth that every man eventually learns. Strength isn't carrying everything. Strength is choosing what's actually worth carrying. You're not a bloody pack mule, all right? You cannot hold up the entire world. You hold up what actually matters to you. Find that weight that's worth lifting. The weights that are worth lifting. Your father, your mom, those are weights worth lifting, especially if they've always treated you right. I know there's some pretty bloody shitty parents out there, some real deadbeats. Definitely aren't worth lifting up there. But your brother, he needs to stand up on his own 2 feet, all right? He's a grown man himself, and that's the weight you can drop. Sometimes you just got to let people do it themselves. And it's not because you don't love your family, it's because carrying an already grown man teaches him nothing. You're just enabling him after that. And enabling is not a good thing because you keep letting the bloody guy get away with it, and he's going to keep thinking you're susceptible enough to keep letting him get away with it. You don't want to do that, mate. You got to stand up for yourself. You're absolutely allowed to be tired, and you're allowed to rest. You're allowed to say, I cannot do that anymore. That is not weakness. That is taking your own bloody charge of your life. So I hope this helps you out there, mate. All right. Just remember, a man who never resists or who never rests will eventually break. So you got to choose your battles, mate. Set boundaries like a man. Stand tall, mate. Stand tall. Just don't be holding up the whole bloody sky all the time. There's only so much you can do. So with that said, those are quite some stories there. And with that said, I'm gonna flip on over here to the song that I told you about. Definitely worth the talking about. And again, this bloke has done it all. He's seen everything. He's been around everything, and this man has absolutely done it all. So I want to play this song about carrying the weight. And he's from he's an awesome guy from Texas, good old Texas. Hear lots of stuff about that state. Definitely, Texans are very proud of where they come from. So here we go. This is The Weight by Forge. Awesome bloke there. Huge shout out to Forge. So here's your song out there. Let's get this played. And hopefully this helps shed some light out there on men who definitely carry the weight.
You do not always have to smile. You do not always have to say you are fine. Not with me. You walk into the darkest room and somehow bring the daylight in. You find the ones who are hurting and give them a reason to smile again. You remind us life is precious, that every moment means something. Even when your own sky is heavy, you still help somebody else breathe. But I see past the smile you were wearing, I see the battles you never explained. You spend your life sheltering everyone else while standing alone in the rain. You were always the one checking in, always the shoulder, always the friend. But even the strongest heart gets tired. You do not have to hide it away. Let me help you carry the weight. Set it down, you do not have to be brave. You spend your life lifting everyone else. Let somebody stand by your side for a change. Somehow, some way we will be okay. We will walk through the storm, we will outlast the rain. You do not have to be the light every day. Let me help you carry the weight. I know there are days when your body asks more than your heart has to give, but you still find a way to remind us how beautiful it is just to live. You laugh like tomorrow is promised, though you know better than most that it is not. You find joy inside the smallest moments and give everything you have got. But you are more than the hope you give us, more than the smiles you leave in a room. You are allowed to have your hard days. You are allowed to need someone too. It can be hard to reach for a hand when you are the one helping others stand. But you do not have to carry the whole world. I am right here, I understand. Let me help you carry the weight. Set it down, you do not have to be brave. You spend your life lifting everyone else. Let somebody stand by your side for a change. Somehow, some way we will be okay. We will walk through the storm, we will outlast the rain. You do not have to be the light every day. Let me help you carry the weight. When tomorrow feels too far away, we will only worry about today. One breath, one step, one moment at a time. You taught me every day is precious, so let me give those words back to you. Your life means more than what you do for others. You were precious too. You do not have to fix a thing. You do not have to make me smile. You can lean on me, you can fall apart. You can rest here for a while. Let me help you carry the weight. Set it down, you have nothing to prove today. You spent your life lifting everyone else. Now let someone stand by your side and stay. Somehow, some way, we will be okay. We will walk through the storm, hand in hand through the rain. And when you cannot find the light in the gray, I will hold it until you find your way. You do not have to be strong every day. Let me help you carry the weight. You do not always have to smile. You do not always have to say you are fine. Somehow, some way, we will be okay. Until then, I've got you. Let me help you carry the weight. I know the way.
Wow, definitely very impactful. Very, very good bloke there. Definitely a bloke out there who's gone through a lot in his life. Definitely a lot that was very undeserved. The man's a good bloke. You know, you can follow him at the Noe Boys on YouTube. That's where I played this song from. He's with JLRP, which is Jimmy and Larry Records Production, I think. Yeah, Record Productions. All right. So just wanted to make sure I got that right. Give those blokes a follow on YouTube. They do have a few folks working for them, so good group of people there. And again, today's topic is carrying the weight, and I feel like that was the perfect song about it. So definitely give those guys a like and follow. Definitely make very good music there. Now, this next segment, this one was pretty popular, and I got a lot of requests for this one. So I figured, why not? I do it again for this show as well. And bloody hell, there's something wrong with my voice today. Sorry about that. But this is Am I the Asshole? And these are always some fun sessions to do. And boy, do I got some good ones. This one is messed up. This one I look up stuff online, and I look for the most messed up am I the asshole sessions. And unless I get some from a fan submission, if you have an am I the asshole that you want to submit to me, it's RexVayneDomain at yahoo.com, and I would gladly say it on the next show. So this session, am I the asshole for sleeping with my daughter's bully's dad after finding out my daughter was getting bullied as revenge? What in the bloody hell is this? This was submitted from a Sheila, obviously. I, a 30-year-old female, have a mum who's 51, who I love dearly despite her not being the best. When I say not being the best, I don't mean she was directly or purposely harmful to me. She just had a lot of mental health issues that prevented her from being the most present parent. The most responsible and loving thing she could do for me was giving my dad, who's a 57-year-old male, primary custody and didn't fight the court's recommendation for supervised visits until I was a teen. Without fail, me mom always showed up to my birthdays, gave me presents, and called me on holidays, and went to as much events as she could for me. While I was sad that my mom wasn't always around all the time, my parents always made sure that I knew it wasn't my fault and that my mom was just sick. I never really had an issue with the explanation until this other Sheila named Tamara made fun of me for not having a mom who loved me enough to want me. Damn, that's harsh. In her words, in her world, when parents split up, the mom always got the kids unless she didn't love them. That's how it started in elementary school, and then Tamara started bullying me for other things. See, any split up involving kids, that's always a messy thing, mate. That's how it started in elementary school, and then Tamara started bullying me for other things. I used to come home crying multiple times, and my dad went to school with this issue repeatedly. It says none of the adults were around when these alleged bullyings happened. There wasn't much that was done. So the longest time my mom didn't know about any of this was because my dad feared that she would make it worse. However, when my mom saw how visibly upset I was, I broke down and told her everything. My hair was the result of Tamara accidentally spilling a mix of glue and blue paint on top of me head. And again, these are real stories I looked up online. Real bloody stories out there. People can be bloody crazy with each other. My mom was very calm and comforting the whole time and asked me for Tamara's full time and any other description that I could give of her parents and the type of car that they drove. Me dad eventually was able to get me over to another school, and following year, my mom paid for me, my dad, and her to go to quote unquote Mouse World in Florida. We all know what Mouse World they're talking about. I never saw or heard from Tamara again until recently when she and I discovered that her boyfriend was living in the same apartment complex as me. It's a small world, mate. Small world. Tamara recognized me immediately and confronted me about how my mom and I ruined her life. I had no idea what she was talking about, and Tamara told me that my mom had an affair with Tamara's dad and revealed it at Tamara's birthday party. I didn't believe her and just walked away. And then when I told my mom about it, she admitted to everything and even said that the money she used to pay for our family trip came from Tamara's dad. Wow. These are some bloody crazy stories out there. I did some digging, and apparently Tamara's parents had a bit of divorce and were forced to sell the house, and to this day, Tamara feels a certain level of dread about her birthday. My mom feels no remorse, as in her eyes, it was all Tamara's fault for being a bully in the first place. I definitely feel like my mom went way overboard, despite understanding the why, but am I the asshole for not giving an apology? Wow. All right, fellas, buckle up because this one is a wild ride. We've got a mom who decided the best way to handle her daughter's bully was to go to sleep with the bully's bloody dad. How low do you gotta go, mate? I know there's some petty shit out there, but Jesus bloody Christ. She didn't call the school. She didn't talk to the parents like most sane people would probably do, or at least the reasonably sane ones. She didn't teach her kid resilience. She just went straight to tactical seduction. That is insane. Let me tell you something. This is what happens when grown adults can act like bloody children. Except for the sleeping part. Obviously, we don't condone that. This is what happens when people think revenge is a personality trait. And this woman didn't just protect her daughter, at least in her mind. She actually went so personal to sleep with the bully's dad. And years later, the daughter finds out her mom's act was a campaign that blew up a marriage and wrecked a bloody entire family. And the kid was also 10 years old at the time. What is that? Like, what, third, fourth, maybe fifth grade, depending on which country you are? Whether it's like primary, elementary school type shit. Men get dragged through the mud for cheating, for messing up, or being irresponsible all the time. Especially in some countries where the courts tend to favor the females, all the Sheilas out there, because they come up with some sob story about custody, about child rights, about mothers' rights, all that stuff. And yes, the courts do heavily favor the women. It's a natural fact. Go look up the stats. It's a real bloody thing out there. The men get screwed over all the time. Even the ones that are definitely not deadbeats. They actually try to get involved in their kids' lives, try to have a bloody life with their kid without all the bloody drama. And the daughter, she's sitting here wondering if she's the bad guy for not apologizing. For what? For not bloody clapping at your mom's revenge opera? Or even for your mom clapping, getting her cheeks clapped by the dad. Wow. Still can't believe that. Two wrongs don't make a right, they make a bloody mess. So you're not the villain, and it seems like you're the only adult in this whole bloody story. Wow, what a start. And here's this next one. Next, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for deleting my friends' wedding photos in front of them? I'm not really a photographer, I'm a dog groomer. I take lots of photos of dogs all day to put on my Facebook and Instagram. It's my thing, if that makes sense. I've seen some YouTube videos of groomers out there, nothing wrong with that. A cut in a photo with every appointment. I seldom shoot things other than dogs, even if I have a nice setup. A friend got married a few days ago and wanted to save money, asked if I'd shoot it for them. I told him it's not really my forte, but he convinced me by saying he didn't care if they were perfect. They were on a shoestring budget, and I agreed to shoot it for only $250, which is nothing for a 10-hour event. That's a long bloody event, mate. I don't think I've even heard of weddings that go that long. Bloody hell, crikey. On the day of, I'm driving around following the bride as she goes from appointment to appointment before the ceremony, taking photos along the way. I shoot the ceremony itself, and during the reception, I'm shooting speeches and people mingling. I started around 11 a.m. and was due to finish at around 7:30 p.m. Around 5, food is being served, and I was told I cannot stop to eat because I need to be a photographer. Okay, that's bloody bullshit. You're there all day. A man deserves his time to eat and take a bloody rest. In fact, they didn't even save me a spot at any table. Wow, what a bunch of bloody. Yeah, I'm not trying not to get demonetized. But let's just say it starts with a C word and ends with a T, and I'm pretty bloody sure you know what I'm talking about. It's also unbelievably hot. The venue is an old Veterans Legion building, and it's like 110 degrees Fahrenheit, and there's no bloody AC. Those of you who don't know, that's, if you're still using the other system, I'd say that's probably around 45 degrees Celsius, maybe a little more. I'm not going to do the math right now. I told the groom that I need to take off for 20 minutes to get something to eat and drink. There's no open bar or anything. I can't even get bloody water, and my 2 water bottles have long been empty. He tells me that I need to either be a photographer or leave without pay. With the heat being bloody hungry, practically starving after being there all bloody day, being generally annoyed at the circumstances, I asked if he was sure, and he said yes. So then I went and I deleted all the photos I took in front of him and took off, saying I'm not his bloody photographer anymore. If I would be paid $250, honestly, at that point, I would have paid $250 just for a glass of cold water and somewhere to sit for 5 bloody minutes. Was I the asshole? They went they went right on with their honeymoon, and they've been off of social media. But a lot of people have been posting on the wall asking about the photos with getting zero responses. Okay, first of all, good on you, mate, for eventually standing up for yourself. Again goes to the topic of carrying the weight there. You did your friend a bloody favor, and your friend treated you like absolute shit. And I know some weddings can have a lot of drama with it. Like the bride and the groom, it can vary between either depending on the wedding. Weddings are full of bloody drama. But let's gather around because this is a perfect example for why men need to stop doing favors for people who don't respect them. We got a guy who's a dog groomer who gets roped into shooting a 10-hour wedding session for only $250. That is bloody charity, mate. That's quite the discount. You realize how much others photographers would have actually charged for 10 bloody hours? It definitely ain't no $250, mate. And I don't care if you're talking about American dollars or Aussie dollars. That is a cheap discount. He's following the bride around all day, sweating in a 110-degree building with no AC, no water, no food, no break, no seat, no bloody respect. And then the groom, who should be leading the charge on treating people right, tells him he can't take 20 bloody minutes to get himself a drink of water. If you're running a wedding and you don't feed your photographer, you don't bloody deserve one. Gotta treat your guests with respect, mate. When you bring snacks, you bring drinks, you bring food, you bring hors d'oeuvres, or however the bloody fuck you want to put it. Let your photographer get in on some of it. So this groom was being cheap as fuck, paying only $250, and he does not get to talk like he's hiring someone professional, all right? And the groom clearly doubled down. Actions have consequences, mate. You treat a man like a bloody servant, you're going to lose the service. And now the newlyweds are on the honeymoon with no photos, memories, or no one to blame but themselves. But meanwhile, this mate is free. He can hydrate and feed himself whenever he wants. As far as I'm concerned, nope, this man was not the asshole. Absolutely bloody not. This man had every right to protect his services and to stand up for himself. Don't let people push you around, mates. All right? All you fellas out there, do not let people push you around. Take advantage of your hospitality, of your friendship, of your favors. You definitely do not want to turn into an enabler on that, even on accident. If a mate out there asks you for help because you're his mate, and you go out there and you help the bloke, and then he treats you like shit, don't do not fall for that, mate. Do not fall for that at all. Stand for yourself. Absolutely, he was absolutely right in deleting all the photos because his mate was being a shithead, and he bloody left. So good on you, mate. Definitely not the asshole. So our next segment out there, we're gonna do another movie and show spotlight. So let's see here. Give me a tick while I pull this up here. First movie we're going to talk about is Predator. Definitely an awesome movie out there. For those of you who haven't seen it, it was definitely the start of a long franchise that has lasted throughout many years about this group of very, very masculine folks out there, a bunch of masculine blokes out there who group together. They go to perform a mission, and there happens to be an alien there waiting on them. And this alien starts hunting them down little by little, one by one. And let me tell you something, gentlemen, all you fellas and blokes out there, let's talk about this movie. This is not just a piece of entertainment, but a cultural landmark. It's a monument carved out of sweat, grit, and the kind of unapologetic masculine energy you just don't see anymore. Movies back in these days were very unapologetic. This film drops you into the jungle with a squad of men who are the absolute peak of competence. These are not bumbling action caricatures. They are elite operators who move with purpose, discipline, and confidence. Each one of them looking like they were sculpted out of bloody granite and handed a machine gun as a birthright. And look how bloody awesome they look doing it too, especially Jesse Ventura over there with the bloody minigun. And before the alien even shows up, the movie gives us one of the greatest moments ever put on film, the bloody handshake. Dutch and Dylan's handshake. That is probably the most manliest handshake out there. That handshake isn't just iconic, it is mythic. Two titans locking hands like they're trying to crush the earth between the palms. It's like a handshake that makes you sit up straighter, even grow some hair down there from the looks of it. The kind that makes you want to lift something heavy. The kind that reminds you what respect between men looks like. But Predator isn't just muscles and explosions. It's a story about pressure as well, about being hunted, about facing something stronger, smarter, and way deadlier than you are, and refusing to fold. These men don't just whine, they don't panic, they adapt, they fight, they push forward, even when the jungle itself seems determined to kill them. Because this alien, for a good portion of the movie, was invisible. He was killing people left and right while invisible. Nobody could see him. And that's why Predator is such a perfect antagonist. It doesn't hunt the weak, it hunts the worthy. These were from a race of aliens called the Yautja, and they definitely go after worthy foes. So those capable of fighting them. If they see you as non-worthy, you're already injured. A lot of times they won't come to you. They won't give you the satisfaction of even a bloody side eye. It's a creature that respects strength, skill, and courage. It's the embodiment of every challenge men face. The thing that tests you, that pushes you, that forces you to dig deeper than you ever thought you could. When Dutch smears mud across his body and screams into the night at the end, he's not just preparing for battle, he's declaring that he will not be broken, that he will not run, and that he will stand his ground even when the odds are impossible. And Arnold up there, he's the one who plays Dutch, by the way. Just in case you haven't seen it, but if you haven't seen it, you bloody need to. Even if you're not a big horror film, this makes for a great action flick. And that's what this movie encaptures. It's the fire inside men who refuse to quit. The discipline, the resilience, the quite unshakable resolve. It's a reminder that masculinity at best isn't about domination, it's about endurance. So if you're a man out there feeling burned out, judged, underestimated, or pushed past your limit, watch Predator. Watch Dutch and Dylan's manly handshake. Watch the team move through the jungle like a single organism. And watch Dutch stand alone against something that should have killed him 10 times over. Because Predator isn't just a movie, it's a message. It shows what men can be when they stand tall, disciplined, and refuse to break. So, as far as carrying the weight is concerned, again, this is another movie about carrying the weight. So definitely do not push yourselves too hard, gents. All right? Definitely do not push yourselves out there. We don't need it. We don't want you going down. Stand tall. All right. The next movie out there we're going to talk about, it's another very masculine movie. I don't know why this thing is trying to open it up like this. Windows is being bloody hell with me today, mates. Give me a sec. I almost got it up here. All right, I'm just going to show it how it is because Windows is being nuts on me right now. Here we go, The Expendables. Now, this was the epitome of being manly back in the day. Sylvester Stallone gathered practically every male action star all into one movie, and it was bloody great when it came out. It was super popular. You had him, you had Jet Li, you had Iceman right there, you had Dolph Lundgren, Stone Cold Steve Austin, you had Mickey Rourke, you had Bruce Willis, Jason Statham, Terry Crews, a bunch of very good men right there. The Expendables was a cinematic equivalent of gathering every legendary warrior you grew up admiring and dropping them into one movie. It is not just an action movie, it is a salute to all the men who defined toughness long before special effects and superhero suits took over Hollywood. Stallone didn't just cast a film, he assembled a total brotherhood, a lineup of battle tested icons who earned their reputations through grit, discipline, and sheer force of will. In this one, I can't remember if the first one had Arnold in it too. I know he was the guy who worked alongside Bruce Willis, bloody diehard himself right there. And it's a shame what's happened to him today. My thoughts are with Bruce Willis and his family. I know they're going through it right now. This movie celebrates a very specific kind of masculinity, the kind built on loyalty, competence, and shared hardship. Every man on this team brings something different to the table. Whether you got Statham's precision shooting, his knifing that he likes to do, and then he's also got his relationship problems as a result of his job. Jet Li's speed, his size issues that he jokes about. You got Terry Crews's absolute raw power, and I absolutely loved what he had at the end of the movie. I believe that was an AA-12, and it was basically an automatic shotgun. And that thing really blasted for real. You had Lundgren's Chaos, who kind of flirts between being like an anti-hero, anti-villain in this one, a little bit of both sides. And then you had Randy Couture's resilience and Stallone's leadership holding it all together. It is a reminder that strength isn't a one size fits all. It's a spectrum of abilities working in sync with each man lifting the others up. And that's what makes it special. It's not just the explosions or the gunfights, even though we all bloody love them. It's the camaraderie. The way these men move like a single unit, they joke and argue and fight and still show up for each other when it counts. It's a tribute to brotherhood forged through adversity, the kind of connection you only get when you've been through fire together. And it's always good to have a group of blokes like that are there for you no matter what, that can help share that weight that you carry. And again, today's topic is carrying the weight. These blokes right here do not carry it alone. They each have their own problems and they share in it and they help support each other through it. So if you're a man out there feeling worn down, overlooked, or underestimated, The Expendables is your reminder. All right. And they have 3 of these movies, mind you. Actually, I think they have 4 now. Yeah, I think they have 4 Expendables out there now. So this is your spark. It shows what men can be when they refuse to fold and when they lean on each other and when they fight with purpose. It's a celebration of every man who stepped up, held the line, and kept going when others quit. That's why The Expendables matters. It honors the men who built the action genre, and it honors the men who keep showing up in real life day after day, carrying weight most people never see. So I know I played a song earlier about one man, one bloke who carried the weight. Again, another shout out to Forge out there. You're a good bloke there, mate. You're a good bloke. The Expendables is about a group of blokes who sharing each other's weight. They both go out there, they do all these dangerous missions together, yet they come out on top. Even when one man gets taken down, or when one man temporarily joins the bad guys, and at the end they find a way to reconcile, or they find a way to share in that weight. Definitely, if you got that mate out there, that ride or die mate, definitely do not let go of that mate out there. So with that said, I did not have that much today, but I definitely wanted to talk about these movies and talk about those topics of carrying the weight. So before we wrap this up, I do want to talk directly to all the men out there who feel like they're carrying the whole damn planet on their shoulders. The ones who wake up tired, go to bed tired, and spend every hour in between trying to be everything for absolutely everyone. You know exactly who you are. You're the guy people call when something breaks, when someone needs help, when a crisis hits. You're the one who steps up not because you're trying to be a hero, because you don't want anyone else to suffer. And here's the truth, a lot of you are running on fumes, bloody burned out, or overworked, or underappreciated. Remember we talked last week about the bloke who got fired from his job after losing both of his parents in an accident? That was a bloody shitty thing to do, firing your good employee because the bloody mom was trying to grieve. But here's the thing, strength does not mean silence. Responsibility does not mean self-destruction. And carrying the world does not mean you are not allowed to set it down for a bloody minute. See, look here, this is going to have to wait a tick. I need some time to myself. So hear me clearly. You are allowed to rest. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to walk away from people who treat you like a bloody tool instead of a human being. Listen, mates, listen. You're allowed to protect your time, your energy, and your sanity. Do not drive yourself nuts because other people do not respect you. So take a breath, stand tall, and remember you do not have to carry the entire world. You only ever have to carry yourself. Your single priority will always be yourself. If you cannot fix yourself, mate, you cannot even think to fix others. All right? Because if you're just as broken as they are, then not much is going to happen then, mate. So with that said, I'll go on ahead and close the show off. Again, I didn't have much to talk about today. But for now, stay tight, everyone. Stay strong, gentlemen. Stay sharp, stay solid, and stay true to yourself. And I'll see you next Monday at 5 p.m. I don't have a topic yet. Next Monday, 5 p.m., right after Metal Monday with Stormdok. So, again, stay sharp, stay solid, and stay true to yourself out there, men. I'll see you next time right here in the RexVayneDomain. Take care. RexVayne out.